So I wanted to rant about some movie news, and I really don't like to do that, honestly. I used to kind of do this from time to time, where there'd be some news that I'd break down in a video. I kind of stopped doing it because it wasn't really fun, and then also a lot of movie news could end up being wrong or changed over time, and saying finished products does actually add a lot of context. But with this one, fuck it. This news is just disgusting to me, and I just can't believe that there are some people falling for this bullshit. Let me explain. So, if you don't know, um, there's six Scream movies with a seventh one in development. And originally, it was going to have all the same people come back. Jenna Ortega, all these people come back. Melissa Barrera, who plays her sister, in that movie, she was going to come back. But then, of course, if you don't know, in Israel and Gaza, there's this whole like war and conflict. Obviously, it's in the news here. I'm not here to explain any of that because mainly I don't really understand that well enough to explain it to you. Other than um, there was people accusing her of being anti-Semitic, but it ended up kind of not being like that. The studio kind of overjumped and fired her from the project, which is shitty. A lot of fans had outrage. A lot of fans, I don't. It didn't. This is one of those firings. It didn't seem like there was a single person on the side of the studio here. Where a lot of these kind of situations, there's like people are on the side of the studio, and then there's people not. Like when Justin Roiland got fired from Rick and Morty from stuff. Like sure, there were people on the side of the studio, and then there was other people defending him. And I'm not saying whether they're right or wrong to do that. What I'm saying is that this was a very ugly situation. And so for a while, we heard about different directors and people being fired and brought around. They decided they're going to have Kevin Williamson. I think he's going to direct. And then they have Mike Flanagan writing or something like that. I think I read something like that. But that seemed fine enough. I mean, I initially, while I thought it was shitty she was being fired, I was like, okay, fine. We're getting another Scream movie. If it's bad, it's bad. Didn't really feel like it was going to be good with this news, but I was like willing to give it a shot, right? But then you hear some insane news that, hey, they're bringing back Sydney, and they're bringing back the guy, what's the villain? Matthew Lillard back into the franchise. And then the one that finally broke me was they said that Dewey's coming back. And you're like, all right, fuck this bullshit. Because this franchise is broken now. You've broken it. Because the reality is, I really enjoyed Scream 5. I thought they gave Dewey a great ending in that franchise, in that fifth movie. And I know people have like fan casted Matthew Lillard coming back. They've wanted that back for years, and they've had all these fan theories of how they were going to do it, and let's make it happen, right? And you're just sitting here like, what the fuck are you doing? Because, like, I get it. I get why people want him to come back. It's not even the character being so good. It's the fact that Matthew Lillard was so fun and such a great fun presence, not just in that movie, but other movies as great as Shaggy and Scooby Doo, that you want uh, people who now recognizing what they have being able to kind of play around with that in another Scream movie, but it's too late. His character died. This is a slasher franchise, and while other slasher franchises have been able to, how many times has Michael Myers come back and died? Friday the 13th, how many times has that come back and died? But it still feels like Scream was always a little above that, not bringing back certain characters who died and be like, oh, now they're alive, but now we're going to do that, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of meta jokes of, hey, you thought I was dead, but I'm still alive, bitch, right? But it just feels so insulting because I cried. I had an emotion with Dewey dying, right, in that movie, and now that's just undone. And now Matthew Lillard's coming back, and you know why they're doing it, because they have fans angry at them. They're trying to pander to them to get fans back, and unfortunately, it will work for a couple reasons. First of all, whatever trailer they're gonna come back out with is gonna do a great job of making you intrigued, going, "Huh? What?" And you're gonna have questions. And then there's gonna be theories going around. People are gonna want to check that out, right? Then it's a horror movie. Horror movies do good regardless. When was the last horror movie that you know that bombed? These things have such low budgets that they're able to always make their money back. And this movie franchise is fucking 7 movies deep. If they haven't had one that failed now, they're not going to have one that fails. So fuck it. They're going to keep making Scream movies forever. And it's just really unfortunate because I think someone said it best. Franchises, everything has its time. And while I believe that there's franchises, as long as you're still making quality stuff, you can keep it going, like Star Wars, Marvel. I mean, Scooby Doo's been around for 50 years, and they're always doing unique and cool stuff. Not all of it works, but enough of it works that people still like it, and there's still love for that kind of stuff. Like for me, for example, I love the Scooby Doo movies they put out now, even though it's been around for 50 years. And so I think that you can do that with some of these franchises, keep them around, keep them thriving. But then you watch shit like this that just makes you go, you want Ghostface to kill every motherfucker involved with the making of this movie and just go, fuck you. Because why the fuck is this going on? No one asked for this shit. It's very insulting as a fan that they think that we'll buy into this bullshit, take it. And unfortunately, they're right. I mean, I'll be proven wrong if Scream 7 comes out and makes like $2 million or some bullshit. But I don't think I'm wrong. I'm thinking I'm wrong. Fuck this shit. I love Scream. I think you guys love Scream. I think we all love Scream, but fuck this BS bullshit.